Good evening. Welcome to another fun installment of the Original Drink and Draw Social Club. This evening, our very special guest, the one, the only, Mr. Adam Hughes.
Yay!
Welcome, Adam.
Wow.
Hello, everyone out there, and welcome to Adam. Glad to have you with us.
Oh, thanks for having me. Sorry, I cracked out the other week because of the power thing. If anybody was looking forward to that one, but this is better because I'm like a 9 days better artist than I was last time.
Excellent.
There you go. So, how's everybody doing this evening? Everybody hanging in out there?
Pretty good.
Anybody
Yeah, I'm getting a little distortion.
Yeah.
You're distorted?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
What kind of
So it's going to be like a retro show where Jeff has technical difficulties?
I don't have any.
That's a marvelous hat. That's about it.
Like that. That's a hat. So I know that we were debating the idea of nicknames the other day, Dan. So this is a nickname hat that someone gave to me. That's how it's supposed to work, right, Joe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Adam, we got into a whole discussion because Dan gave himself his own nickname, Urban
That's not
Barbarian.
true, Adam. Don't believe him.
Right? And now, how do you feel about this? I mean, I think that the majority of us feel that you can't give yourself your own nickname. It's just really.
I agree. I agree with that statement.
Well, yeah, that the world would be filled with dukes and aces. You know.
There you go.
That's a very good point.
By the way, that's my middle name for real, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that now.
I'll show you my birth certificate, Dave Johnson.
I want to see the long form.
Dave's a birther.
Yeah.
A Duke birther.
Yeah.
So anybody working on anything exciting out there tonight?
I have a little drawing here. I wanted to it's like a tutorial on how to draw hot chicks. So I'm gonna, help out Adam a little bit and, some pointers, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I won't be drawing a hot chick. That's for sure.
Try sticking to straight lines.
Yeah.
Right.
No, my piece is primarily a background. So.
Is it crossword puzzle windows? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm doing actual marble work. For
You're
those
doing
at Marvel
marble work?
watching, I'm actually doing marble work.
There you go.
Jeff,
I'm just drawing a
what
monster.
exactly is that?
That's a commission for a dentist, I believe.
Yeah,
Good grief.
It's
definitely.
a lot of
It's all
teeth.
about flossing.
Even weirder, it's not even just dentists.
Right.
It's your dentist who we like to talk about quite a bit.
Yeah, but I have a dentist who loved just rendition of Sprite and asked for a special Jeff drawing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Um,
Adam, are you gonna do any drawing? What are you working on?
What's that?
What are you working on over there?
I just thought I would draw something here tonight. I mean, today I was working on some pages for doing a Captain America story for the new Marvel's Snapshot anthology.
Hmm?
Great.
Wait, what is that
Can you
about?
hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Totally.
So what's Snapchat?
Sorry, I'm really.
Oh,
No,
We
yeah.
lost the sound.
all right.
What's going around?
What is the snapshot stuff? Is Marvel doing little short stories?
No, it's not for me to say.
Okay.
We'll get Adam back. Let him,
All right.
Let him do the saying.
What?
We'll let him do the saying.
Well, the good thing is that Adam is fluent in American Sign Language. And
Is he?
Yes, Jeff, he is.
I mean,
So,
see, Ben.
Jeff, we just discovered right now, it's not that Dan is a really good liar, because, that was
I'm a very trusting soul, and I generally believe Ben.
Well,
I mean, I know maybe I should.
Well, you know, I'm generally much more truthful than Dan is. I mean, there's
Well, that's not hard to do.
That's not saying a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ben's got some secrets.
I've got secrets.
Yeah, but that doesn't. No, whatever.
Like every good lady,
Adam,
I've got secrets.
Maybe Adam, if he doesn't have any sound, he can log off and log back on.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably his best bet. He seems to be frozen.
Sometimes that works out best. It could just be his way of just going, guess what? I'm already done.
Yeah, I'm bored with you fellas.
Well,
I mean,
while he's figuring out his technical difficulties, you guys want to talk about what you like about his work, or discuss where you saw his work first?
Well, since he's not here, we can talk shit on him. You know,
Wouldn't it be nicer to say those things with Adam?
I just wanted to keep the conversation going about Adam, so that he knew we loved him.
Dan, you're completely out of focus on your camera. Just FYI.
I wonder why that. You know what? Sometimes it happens where let's see.
His computer's been drinking.
It could be.
My webcam's been drinking.
Well, look, I mean, you know, for the third week in a row, I sign on, I get everything booted up, and then StreamYard freezes my Cintiq, where I have to reboot my computer. So, Dan, I think we have a StreamYard issue. I really do.
You know, they're a proud sponsor of Drink and Draw.
I know. That's why I said that very, very gently.
I don't know. I think you need to clarify what exactly sponsor means.
Well, I mean, they allow us to use their program.
Yeah.
Also
we
proud.
We pay
let's-
money to use this.
I mean, I
I
always
drink a lot of Budweiser. I'm not sponsored by it.
How much are we paying for this program?
I'm paying about $50.
How much do we have to pay to get off it?
We have to find a suitable replacement.
Yeah. I'll figure something out.
Maybe Dan, you've done enough figuring, I think. Maybe the fans out there can help us out with this. Maybe they could make some suggestions.
Do we have any fans? Like, are fans excited to see Adam on our show?
I hope they enjoyed his appearance.
He's pretty good.
It was good to see him.
I always like seeing him.
Well,
when was the first time you were? I remember, Jeff, you were always a big Adam fan.
I am. Still am.
You still are. Wow.
Still are.
wow.
Well, way back in the 90s, I was lucky enough to pick up some of his pages when they were still sort of, when even I could afford them, which is saying something.
Right.
Mhm.
Huh.
Yeah,
So you actually bought them. You didn't steal them like you've been known to.
No. I mean, I've stolen a lot of things in my day, but these I actually paid for.
Wow.
could we show them?
We could.
Why don't we?
Oh, yeah.
Ben?
What? I'm sorry. I was texting with Allison about Adam's computer. What?
Well, even if Adam is having technical difficulties, we can still have it be an Adam-centric show.
Absolutely. Would you like to see some Adam Hughes art? Is that what
I would love to see some Adam Hughes art. It's better than my art.
Well, we could do that.
Show the art.
Show the art. Well, here, we'll start with this one.
Oh, nice one.
There's the pen and inks, and there's the colors.
Colors.
From the relaunch of Batgirl for DC's New 52, I believe.
Wow, he's so good. People color his art.
It's all him.
Oh man.
So here's a.
I do have
more
one negative thing to say about Adam. Might as well get it out of the way before he comes back.
Okay, now's the time.
All right, now's the perfect time, Jeff. Spit it out, man.
Do you guys remember what convention sketches were like back in the day? before Adam decided to make every piece a museum showpiece?
Before things like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm genuinely pissed. Like, remember when a con sketch was just that, like a quick sketch at a con? He raised the bar so high that now you just have to make everything has to be a work of art.
What? I always say it was a double dose of, people like Adam, but also the internet, because your quickie little sketch now had, potential, hundreds of thousands of views.
Yep.
Something that you banged out, but nobody knows how long you took on it. So it just makes you look like a terrible artist if you crank something out, and all of a sudden, people don't know how long you took on it, so it's crazy.
Yeah, between everything being on the public wall and Adam raising the bar, I think con sketches stopped being any fun. They stopped being any fun.
Well, I still like them. I mean, it did force me to like take less, sketches.
I mean, I guess maybe if you didn't care about how you were doing them in the first place, maybe that's a problem.
Oh no, I 100% didn't.
I didn't charge a whole lot either. Now
I never did.
Now I have to charge significantly more because, it's like, well, if it's going to be out there, I definitely want it to look.
Yeah, how much do you charge? Yeah,
but depends on the piece
and the person.
And the person, like if I like the person or not.
All right, so let's say.
What fans do you like?
Let's say you don't like the person, and they ask you for a Conan sketch. How much are you going to charge?
Conan sketch, like an 8.5 by 11.
You don't like the person.
I think it's about 300 or so.
Oh, wow.
What do you
Wow.
think about that? Is that
Yes.
is that too much? Is that not enough?
I think it's fair. I think you do a great Conan.
Joe doesn't seem to agree.
There's a lot of artists out there right now thinking, I got to raise my prices.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially if they listened to the News episode, they would have done that already.
I think eBay did more damage to con sketches than anything, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have a Adam Hughes story. I mean that he told me. He was doing a sketch for a gentleman at a show, and the guy started taking photos of it while he was doing it, and they discovered that he had an eBay auction going live. And he was updating with new photos of the piece being done. So he was already selling it for more than what Adam was charging for it.
What an a-hole.
Yeah, yeah. So you can blame that guy on
in the early 2000s, it was just rampant. That's part of it too. The cons were not as prevalent, so there really was a difficulty for some people to get to a show and collect art because there wasn't anything in the Midwest, of sight. And so unless you were going to an East Coast show, because nobody was getting anything in San Diego, it was zoo even then. So eBay was the only outlet for a lot of people, but it definitely made a mess of the art collecting. It still is.
That's one of the reasons I stopped doing sketches at conventions. Like when somebody used to take you to do a quick head sketch. Yeah. I had somebody come up to me. I forget which show it was. It might have been San Diego, and it's like, I got a sick kid. Could you please? Sure, absolutely. Next day, the thing is already up for auction. I'm like, okay.
Right, and I'm the one who's gullible.
Well, it just spoils it for everybody else because I just won't do them anymore. I just refuse.
What about that, Jeff?
It's a dick move if someone would lie to you like that.
He's talking about you, Jeff.
Wait, hang on a second.
Yeah, you were the guy. Remember you made a killing?
Yeah, I made a lot of money on Joe sketches.
Yeah, you were the king of Joe sketches for a while.
Good times.
All right, so Adam just sent me his computer froze. He tried to reboot it. He just sent me the screenshot, and it's basically the BIOS startup repair trying to find a file.
Oh my god!
So, he may not be back. We'll see.
All right, well, let's show some more Adam art.
We'll have a part 3.
Yeah, exactly. To have a part 3. That's fantastic.
We'll just make Adam a permanent guest, and he can come back on whenever he wants.
Yeah, I mean, it took Jeff like 6 months to get his audio and video working. So
yeah, and I'm still not thrilled with what he's done.
Yeah, no, I mean, I still have issues.
And computer problems.
Never on the same day.
Yeah.
So he's trying to.
Maybe we'll be able to see it.
We'll see. Perhaps he comes back.
This was my attempt to not have to deal with,
What is that a background for?
This is Daredevil at Elektra's grave, Jeff.
You just love drawing dudes sitting on benches.
No, the last time it was Death sitting on a bench.
I'm pretty sure that's sad Keanu Reeves sitting on a bench. Is that where you got the inspiration from?
No, I haven't seen too many of those movies. Oddly enough.
Well, it's a meme, not a movie.
I haven't seen the latest. The latest one.
What, Knock Knock?
Excuse. What?
Isn't that his new one?
I don't know. No, I haven't seen the latest John Wick. I can't wait to see that one.
You haven't seen John Wick 3?
No.
What have you been doing with your free time, Dan?
Yeah, I find that very hard to believe. It's really great.
All those movies that you guys hate.
Oh
yeah, your arts films. Hey, since you're drawing a gravestone there's
nice one.
Little,
Hey,
Adam Hughes down there.
You saying you're finding something that Dan, not watching John Wick is hard to believe, and just made me think. I mean, you've known Dan longer than anybody, I think, here.
Yes.
What was one thing that really surprised you about Dan that you discovered?
What is one thing I was really surprised about Dan?
What?
I think the first time, I think one of the things that only surprised me about Dan, or really surprised me about Dan when we first started hanging out, he'd never had Thai food.
That's true. A lot of foods I'd never tried, Jeff.
It wasn't the lifts that he wears in his shoes.
Jeff would like Thai shame me a lot.
Well, yeah.
I mean, Dan never knew to tip bartenders.
Yeah.
All right. Did you never tip bartenders?
I didn't tip them enough. Joe was like, "What's going on here, cheapskate?"
Yeah. You weren't tipping at all. That's what not enough was.
That was the last straw for you.
Yeah, not enough was zero.
So Joe and I would go down to Miami, and basically he goes, Dan, there's a thing called a buyback, and here's how it works. You might like this. That did kind of change my life a little bit.
Well, now you have to explain buyback.
Well, a buyback is when you've obviously tipped enough that the bartender is going to buy you around.
Yes. It's a bartender tipping a customer, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically just showing a little. It's a word. I don't know, Dan. It's called appreciation.
It's a little quid pro quo.
I like people giving me stuff.
Tit for tat.
When you're at a convention and like another pro will say, here's my sketchbook, and you're like, I mean, that's like a great moment.
That is a great moment.
Yeah.
So speaking of sketchbooks,
especially those secret sketchbooks are awesome.
One of the things that I don't know if Adam still does this or not, but for a long time at San Diego, if you couldn't make it down, it was I had friends who would go to Adam's table right away and get the sketchbook before they sold out.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys
and
remember
then you
those?
Sell them on eBay, right?
Hell's to the no.
So you guys can make rent.
Yeah. You
Um,
guys remember these great little collections?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I have all of those.
Yeah, these are awesome.
Those are kind of a staple for any. That's the thing about Adam. Like, any comic book artist will tell you, like that guy is an artist. They call it.
Yeah.
We're all basically fans of them.
Yeah.
What does that mean, Dan? An artist? Can you please explain it?
An artist is that someone, even the comic book artists are like, okay, this guy, as talented as someone might be.
What do you mean even comic artists? What are comic artists snobbier than?
I think there's a lot of snobby guys. Like when I first met you, I was like, what is with this Joe Quesada?
Right. That's true. I can't argue that.
Yeah.
Well, like every page of these is just filled with stuff to study and learn from and inspire you. They're just fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So what would be the opposite of artist?
An opposite would be like the type of
a
artist.
writer.
Yeah, a writer. There's plenty of that other artists are like, how on earth is that guy getting work? Blah blah blah.
Well, we need to come up with a name for that.
I think it's.
I don't have any nice ones.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say hack seems to be the accepted term, but even a hack is someone who still gets it done, right?
What was the name of the guy that was selling paintings that were other people's art, and like Bleeding Cool did the big article?
Oh, the Grantino.
Yes, yeah, that guy. Rob Grantino. That was Dan.
I thought you were going to say Liechtenstein, but okay.
Yeah, no, he basically
he was the original. I think Grantino was even worse. I mean, he was.
It's just tracing and painting. It's like the guys you see down in New Orleans on Jackson Square that do the comic book art pages. But that was a fun month or so.
Yeah, that was an interesting time.
It was getting run out of cons right and left. Yeah, but that would be my name for hack artist, a granito.
A granito.
What's
I think we can put that in a lexicon.
I used to always think to myself with Adam's work, I was like, man, I'll get as good as he is like one day. And then every year he gets better and better. And it's just so he's such a humbling talent that it's an unachievable sort of like it's a nice goal in that sense, because you'll never, at least I won't ever get there. So it's
really the thing about Adam's work that kills me the most is the fact that I know he does all that amazing color work still using a mouse.
Yeah,
he doesn't even have a like a old school tablet, let alone a Wacom or a Cintiq. He does all that with a mouse.
And for people who don't know what a mouse is,
you mean someone born in the last 20 some odd years?
Yeah, that's I'm pretty helpful that way, Jeff.
What I mean, that is pretty good. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Well, obviously, how can you tell him, oh, you need to use this when he's kicking that much ass not using it? So, although I do think, imagine how fast he would be.
I don't know.
Listening to him color is like listening to a stenographer. It's click, click,
all the clicks. Yeah. His thumb must be like, or index finger. It's probably like a weightlifter's index finger.
Right.
Just one giant finger. Probably lift a car with it.
I wonder how many mouse he goes through in a year. Because he's got to wear the button down, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Geez.
Yeah, I wish he was here. We could ask him these questions.
Yeah. He's making progress, he said. So,
good.
We got some time left. Some of us have more than others, but we have time.
Speaking of which, Jeff, what are you cooking tonight?
Tonight is I used up the last of my chorizo at lunch, actually. So tonight is a marinated tri-tip.
I had tri-tip on Monday.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's a good cut.
It's a useful cut, that is for sure. It's very underrated, although it's becoming like the hipster cut of beef now. Used to be a tri-tip for nothing. Now, like, it's on food shows, so it's expensive now.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So it's the Pabst Blue Ribbon of
exactly. That's it.
Damn it! Damn hipsters ruin everything.
Gentrified. Gentrified our tri-tip.
So Dan, are you gonna cook your turkey in the deep fryer? Or are you gonna use your convection oven? Like, don't you have some special way you're gonna cook your turkey?
I have a special convection oven, and it takes hardly any time to do it. But I don't know. I wanted to do the deep fryer, but I got shot down by Elena.
Deep fryer is a good way to cook a turkey.
Sounds like it. I mean, I thought so until she told me that was out. Here's the mouse again, in case people are.
You could get one of those oilless deep fryers. Maybe she'd let you play with that.
There's no danger Dan doesn't want to do it. I guarantee that.
Deep frying turkeys, there are some delightful videos of people damn near burning their house down.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
But when they drop the still frozen turkey into the full pot of boiling oil, it's delightful.
Yeah. All right. So who here's had turducken? I haven't had them. Interested.
I have had it. It tastes like a turkey stuffed with a duck with stuffing.
It's what?
It tastes like a turkey stuffed with a duck with a chicken and stuffing in there.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it is
as advertised.
It's a gimmick, I guess, is the best way to describe it.
Isn't that the way kings used to eat, with one animal stuffed in another animal?
Well, they also were fed in the nude, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
That doesn't happen on Thanksgiving. That's a New Year's Eve party around here.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Have you ever seen the turducken? Have you ever seen the turducken with octopus coming out of it?
Oh, what? Gross.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not into that kind of film.
I think it's called a Cthulhu turducken or something.
Okay, like a hentai.
Oh, what? Is that like Demon City Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's pretty gross looking. I don't know if I'd want to eat that, but
I'm not a fan of octopus, and the more I learn about octopus, the less I want to eat them because
They're super smart.
Yeah, it's almost like eating a dolphin or something.
I need it.
I know.
And they might be aliens.
Dan would eat anything.
They're 100% aliens. There's no doubt about that.
Dolphins are overrated, man.
Dog.
Yeah. Dolphins overrated, Joe?
Overrated, trust me. You know, they're not as smart as people think they are.
Yeah. They're little uppity mammals, what they are.
What was that? Yeah, no, they just, you know what, they get good press. But,
Yeah.
you know, they know how to market themselves well, but really, ultimately, they're dicks, really.
I can see that.
Oh, my God. The arrogance of the Dolphins, you know.
They do seem arrogant.
They do. I mean, they hold themselves above other fish.
Don't dolphins eat octopuses?
And who wouldn't?
I don't know. I think they do.
I know they eat squid, so I assume they'd eat octopus.
Hey, are we doing a postcard today? I can do one.
I'm currently on drawing a postcard, so.
Oh, is that what you were doing today? Maybe that's why I thought about it. All right, never mind.
I'm sure people would want somebody else's art, you know, for one.
Well, there's been a couple of requests for that drawing you're doing. So.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'll give it away. I'm fine.
Well, maybe we should have a question. What should should be an Adam question or like a question about the show?
I like the Adam episode so far.
Yeah.
Maybe show some more Adam art.
So let's see some Adam art.
Yeah, that's what people came here to see.
Filter some in here. Let's see. Try to find something. Here's a nice piece. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this one.
That's a good one.
Wait, I got a piece of Adam art. Hold on.
It's a companion to this piece.
Oh, sweet.
Which is also a companion to this piece.
Whoa.
Are those watercolor? Did he do those?
This is the companion to this piece. They're Copics.
Okay.
So,
was he the first guy to start using Copic markers on convention sketches?
I think he definitely made them popular.
I think he did a lot for getting them out there. I mean, I saw a lot of Copic use in like Artist Alley before it kind of made its way into the more mainstream guys. The younger kids, I guess, so to speak, were using it. But Adam's one of the first guys I remember. And Allison, his wife, she did a lot of Copic. I think she probably actually got into it before Adam.
His wife is also an artist? I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. She sketch card and does some cover work on occasion and stuff. These days, she pretty much is a sheepdog trainer. I don't think she's doing any art, but I may be wrong.
Well, that's awesome. I should definitely like sheepdog to do what? Herd sheep? Like really?
They have, I think, 4 Old English sheepdogs, and she shows at least one of them. So she trains and shows them, through like the agility stuff and that kind of.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
All right, here are the 2 pieces of Adam art I've got. So.
Oh wow, I remember that page. That's a great page.
And then this one, which I got for a steal, comparatively, what I should have paid for it, I guess. So, good times.
I remember those. Those are great.
I mean, I was in a studio with him for a couple of years. I should have stolen some, but
You respected him too much.
Yeah, what kind of friend are you not stealing a man's art?
I know.
Bad job by you.
Yeah.
Remember Jeff, when Bill Sienkiewicz came to a few drink and draws and he'd crumple up some of his drawings and throw them down?
Yeah.
And we'd just go, that's not going in the trash, and we just go.
I have he was drawing some sort of like weird little Frankenstein thing that he didn't like and he tossed. I definitely have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I was actually, before Dan beat me to it there, going to ask if you guys have had that happen at cons where people go rummaging through your trash can.
I haven't had that at cons. No one was rummaging for my art, but I know that, and I'm not going to give any names away, but I know that Bruce Timm would throw stuff away at Warner Brothers, and people would definitely go through the garbage can to get those sketches.
Oh, yeah.
You just said you weren't going to mention any names. Just mention a name.
Yeah, you did.
You mentioned two names, Bruce and Tim.
Yep. Two separate dudes.
I'm not going to mention any names, but speaking of throwing away, I was sitting next to an artist one year, and a fan, really big fan of this artist, gave him some artwork, that he did of some of the characters he was known for, and that guy threw it away. And I actually pulled it out of the garbage, and the next day I brought it back to him.
Oh.
I was like, hey, you dropped this.
Oh.
It was like a piece of art he couldn't get rid of. Because I felt bad for the guy who gave it to him. I mean, he was really excited about giving it to him, and the guy just kind of, yep, here you go, throwing away. So, not very nice.
Well, I threw it out again anyway, Dave. So,
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, Joe, you have fans. Come on.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
Joe's got a few. They featured Joe's drink and draw James Bond the other day on CBR.
Oh yeah, right on.
They did?
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing, Dan. I had no idea. Literally.
Well, they asked me if they said, do you have Joe's artwork? And I said, well, I have mine. And then they said, we want Joe's. And I said, well, I don't know if I endorse this or not.
Tough.
What was it? Was it just talking about what a great piece it was, or was it talking about James Bond?
No, it was talking about Joe's artwork and how
we have life.
Yay.
Oh,
That's
Hey!
What the hell?
It's a very long
we
intro.
were doing a lot of shit talking over here. So it's just in time.
Okay.
All right, it worked.
Yeah. Well, maybe let's see if I have a very, very old computer that I'm loath to, replace because I don't want to have to subscribe to Photoshop. I like owning Photoshop that I paid for.
right.
And maybe my very old computer doesn't like, this or I gotta start.
Here's technology.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm ready.
No worries.
Oh yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm
We've-
ready to
we've had
start
work.
drinking.
Yay. So what are you drinking there? What do you got?
I have Lagavulin 16
Oh, delicious.
from Scotland. So
Scotland, eh?
Sounds delicious.
it is. It tastes like the way a burning leather jacket smells.
Yeah, perfect. I love it.
I've never been able to get into Scotch.
Oh, I love the campfire scotches.
It reminds me of the first time I went to China. We were doing some business out there, and we were out with some that we were being wined and dined, so to speak, in really beautiful, wonderful Chinese sort of fashion. They took us to a speakeasy, a literal speakeasy, like you walk in, it's like a little boutique store, and suddenly a back door opens, and you go through, and it's like 4 floors, and all I can think of is climbing up these stairs, like, oh my God, New York Fire Marshal would have a field day with this. So we go to the top floor of this little brownstone, and they have like one of the world's best bartenders just serving like 20 of us, and then he offers us, me and one of the other people we were with, this whiskey or bourbon. I forget what it was, but it was like this special whiskey. It's been aged for 40 years in like leather, like Spaniards, like water sack kind of thing. It's the way I can describe it. Something you see like a gaucho would have. And I was afraid to even ask how much it costs, right? Just for a shot of this thing. But me and this one guy had it, and we were like, raving to the bartender. And then when the bartender wasn't looking, he turned to me and he said the exact same thing. It literally tasted like a leather sack. He'd been sitting in a leather sack for 40 years. You couldn't taste the whiskey at all. So, Ben, I'm sure you've had this experience.
I have not tasted leather whiskey.
No?
I would be afraid to drink out of the leather.
Whiskey out of a sack.
Yeah.
Well, you have a frog, basically the same.
Yeah. Frog. Yeah, the peaty footness of Scotch has never been high on my palate. But prefer the blow charm pop of bourbon. A nice sweetness. But so, Adam, while you were gone, Dave had a question for you.
It wasn't a very nice question either, Adam.
Wait, what was my question?
How many mouse have you gone through in your
mices?
No, that was Jeff's question. No, we were talking about your technique, the fact that you still use a mouse to do all that amazing color work, and we were just wondering how many mouses you go through in a year.
Yeah.
I have.
Always a spare.
It's moving. Is it moving?
No.
Oh, why do you ask that question?
It's the same mouse I had for about 15 years.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Really?
They used to build them to last, apparently.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
It's the Volkswagen Beetle of keyboard mouse.
Yeah. Impressive.
There's been a little bit going on while Adam was gone. It's looking nice there, Dan.
Yeah, that's great. That's coming through.
I got to do this. I was trying to figure out to put the shadow of this here or off center. Like if I put it right in front of them, it's kind of like it's almost too on the nose, so to speak, if the shadow is right here. So I thought maybe it's off kilter. I don't know. Any thoughts?
I suppose it depends where your light source is.
Well, the light source is coming from here because it seems to be, at least.
Are you going to have the literal shadow of the cross, or are you going to have the artistic
it's the shadow of the
idea?
cross. You see it twice.
All right.
Is that okay?
Cool. Yeah, all right.
Or are you pissed?
Are you going to hide any ninjas in there somewhere?
The hand, as it were?
Yeah. Are you going to sneak some of those guys in there?
No, this is too late. You're lucky I have the blowing leaves, Jeff.
Well, they're ninjas.
I mean, yeah, you could just put like a hint of a ninja somewhere in the tree.
I love that Al Pacino movie, Hint of a Ninja.
Yeah, Hint of the Ninja.
Hint of the Ninja.
You remember when
Steve
we were also
Dudakov's best.
Do you remember we were also starved for any kind of ninja movie that even that movie Black Rain, we're like, we'll take it.
Right.
What's wrong with Black Rain?
I mean, for its time, that's what we had.
What's that Western
doesn't
Dan
like
with,
rain because it mats his hair.
Yeah. What's is a Rising Sun with
Sean Connery?
No, what's that Western with the samurai?
That's Red Sun.
Red Sun. That was a really great
That's a phenomenal movie.
Yeah. Let's show some more Adam art while we waiting for him to come back.
He's here. He's just
A little frozen.
kind of banging in and out. Yeah, it's like watching a flip book at the moment. So Allison's gonna work with him a little bit. So hang out. Let's see how Dave's coming. You started this last week, right, Dave?
Yeah, I was going to add some markers to it.
Well, let's figure out a question.
Oh, you can do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Adam is going to switch to Allison's laptop and try that. So he should hopefully be back with us again in just a moment. But as far as the question, I got nothing. You guys are going to have to come up with a question this week.
Jeff is a bit of a question master.
No, I mean Joe's got the list, right? Don't we have a?
No, I thought you meant questions for Adam.
Oh, I do. I have lots of questions for Adam, but he's a little bit busy.
Yeah,
He is. Let's see if I can get to the question here. I don't have my sheet, but I might be able to find the email. Yeah.
Well, why don't we do you want to have the question be the who lost their sense of smell question?
No.
Okay. What about what was Dave wearing the last episode?
Do you mean underwear or?
Just general his outfit. If you were to describe, if you saw Dave commit a crime in that outfit, how would you describe it to the police?
If you saw him commit a crime?
You're right.
Officer, there was a guy with a big head. He's just right over here.
How dare you?
Eyewitness testimony is notoriously inaccurate.
These brains got to go somewhere.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Maybe there is no shadow. She's not really dead.
Only the shadow knows.
Dan, why don't you tell a story with the shadow? Maybe the shadow's in the shape of a broken heart.
Maybe
I was going to say
a daredevil symbol.
Or a ninja. That's where you put a ninja in.
Shadowy ninja?
Yeah.
Jeff, you're really ninja crazy over there.
I do love ninjas. I always have.
Jeff, you're a bit of a ninja yourself.
Ninja lover.
I'm more of a ninja lover. Ninjutsu has never been a style I've studied.
No. Supposedly it's very secretive style. How would you?
Yeah.
You have to like climb a mountain in Tibet, don't you, or something like that?
You have to learn how to be invisible.
Actually, I think today is the anniversary of the beginning of the UFC.
Really? The ninjas notoriously do not do well in the UFC.
They did not.
They did not do well at all.
There was no place to hide.
Yeah. It's difficult if you can't throw a shuriken at someone.
Yeah. No poison powder.
Yeah.
They've kind of frowned on that.
Dan,
Well, if they were good ninjas, they wouldn't know they were using the poison powder.
It's true.
True. Well, if your opponent died,
Well,
yeah, sure.
died of fear.
Jeff, would you rather be a ninja or a samurai?
Ooh, that's a good question.
God, Jeff hates that question. He'll answer it.
I will answer it. I think that I would rather be a ninja.
Really? How come?
Better food, I think, because you get to travel. You do more traveling.
I've never heard that. That's the weirdest answer.
Dan, you don't think I've clearly given it some thought?
You a little too much.
You surprised me with that one, because
better food.
Samurais run on an honor code. I always saw you as an honor kind of guy, but I guess not.
The ninja had their own honor code. The trouble with the samurai is that I'm not the best at following rules.
I'll say. No offense, but take any.
Jeff sounds like a guy who's had his heart broken by a samurai.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff said his heart broken by a samurai.
At some point, yeah, something happened.
Samurai did not love me the way I needed to be loved.
Obviously, at a restaurant. We got over it.
Well, this paper takes markers pretty good. I was worried about it.
Yeah, whoever did the postcards did a great job.
Yeah.
Just a little shout out.
Shout it out.
We did. We just shouted out to Eon. Eon supplies our paper. They're nice enough to give us all these postcards because they love people. They love comics. They love fans.
The paper.
They love paper over there. Crazy about it.
I ordered a bunch of stock for myself. It's so good, that paper.
I like it as far like texture wise. They have a nice variety.
I bet you even Albert Dorn would like it.
Let's ask him. Let's see his face.
From beyond.
We should have two faces. The two faces of Albert Dorn: the approving and the disapproving.
They're all kind of disapproving.
Yeah.
You're asking a lot.
I'll see if I can Photoshop.
That's the questioning.
That's a little disdain maybe on that, Albert.
Yeah.
We should always get his opinion, though. There you go. That's the happy Albert.
It's casual, you know.
He approves.
Yeah.
It's a shame we should do like a South Park thing on him, and that way we could have him talk and critique our drawings during the show.
It looks like an extra from a musical, like Carousel in that outfit.
He's definitely a merchant marine.
He's had his heart broken by a samurai, for sure.
Samurai are notoriously bad lovers.
Ninjas are great.
Yeah.
Didn't samurai have like the ability to suck their testicles into their body for protection?
Well, there's definitely a kung fu technique where you get kicked in the balls a lot.
Well, that's just for fun. That's to do with fighting.
That's just anytime you spar with Jeff.
Yeah, the temple gets boring.
That's how they win bar bets.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I was reading Bruce Lee's book, and like 99.9% of Bruce Lee's book was punch him in the balls.
Yeah.
But, all right, Adam is back.
Yay!
We're talking about ball punching, Adam.
Speaking of getting punched in the nuts, here's Adam Hughes.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And gone.
He's got no sound.
Oh boy.
So
Mic on. All right. Where's Allison? We got a picture. He just muted and unmuted. We need some background music on this show,
we
Joe.
really do, but we need it
You got those guitars back there. You could do something like that.
Joe wrote a nifty song for us at one point.
Jingle.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello. Yay!
Hello. Hello.
Oh!
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Lights, camera, action. All right.
We can. We can't hear you.
Victory.
Sorry about that. I guess my antique computer did not like that at all, because there you go.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Yeah. It all works. It all worked out.
So are you going to smoke upstairs now?
What?
Are you going to smoke upstairs now, or did you move upstairs?
I'm still in my studio. I had to move the camera from one corner of my drawing table to the other, so you're getting the whole experience now.
Nice. I like that stogie up.
Oh.
Can we show that studio of Adam's to upset all the artists watching the show?
I suppose we can, if Adam's okay with it.
It's already been seen, so.
He was young and needed the money, folks.
Look at that.
Nice.
There you go. It's a dimly lit cavern.
Now, did you build that Millennium Falcon model?
Oh no, that was one of the last things that Master Replicas produced. It's an exact replica of the one that was built for Empire Strikes Back, and I got one of the only ones that was signed by Harrison Ford.
Oh, cool. Well, you're a big Star Wars and Star Trek fan, right?
Yes, I am.
Are you enjoying Discovery or Picard? Have you watched those?
I have not watched those. I watched the free first episode of Discovery, and I never got around to continuing. And so I've never seen Picard either. After I'm not a big fan of the Trek films, the last 3 Trek films, and I think after those I might have gone maybe my Star Trek's in the past.
Do you have a favorite series? Are you a Next Generation guy, or are you like one of the other shows?
Oh, original series.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I got you.
Adam's old school like that.
Super old school. Well, your Star Trek book was great. You nailed those likenesses.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
It was. Yeah. We all have a memory of it.
It's not the years; it's the miles.
Yeah.
Let me see if we got any questions for Adam now that he's arrived. And one asks what your go-to art reference resources are.
I've got tons of books, and I never open them anymore because it's like I'm doing this story right now for that Marvel anthology book I was telling you about, and it's a World War II Fury story, and it features. You can hear me, right?
In and out enough. We'll take what we can get.
Wait, was it going in and out again?
A little bit.
Just a little.
Maybe it's our internet connection. So I'm doing this Sergeant Fury Cap story, and let me grab one of the pages here. So Nick Fury's sort of in his dress uniform.
Oh, cool.
And I asked Marvel, like, what decorations would Nick Fury have for, like May of 1945? And they did not have a definite answer. So they were like, why don't you come up with it? Oh. And I searched the internet, which is like, it's right here. I found some, and I just, after like almost an entire day of trying to do this correct research, I realized I had a book that I bought at a battlefield, war surplus store 20 years ago, 15 feet away. And I got up off my ass and walked over 15 feet, grabbed the book, and it had all the information that I wanted.
Perfect.
And it's like, I will default to the internet first. I'm sitting there and going, okay, I need this. And, you can just type it in or type into something that kind of is like that. And it's right there for you.
How long does that take on your computer?
Yeah. I mean, the computer works fine. I guess it just doesn't want me talking to people.
Yeah.
Audio-wise.
But,
what's funny about is like, if whatever information you find on there, everyone's kind of drawing from that same source. Most people aren't going to have that book, so I find there's a continuity that everyone's sort of pulling from the same well.
Well, it depends. I mean, like a lot of times I'll just sit there and I'll need like how the light is hitting an elbow, and it's like I won't use something whole cloth that I find on the internet for that exact reason. I'll just piecemeal it. I'll sit there and draw, and then I'll go, I'd like this hair to be a little more convincing, and I'll just try to find that hair. I remember one time I was working on a Red Sonja cover where she's sitting on top of a pile of dead barbarians that she's just killed. It's like that Frazetta cover, where Conan is on top of a pile of dead bodies and he's fighting the last living guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, what would be funnier would be not the pregnant moment, but the moment just after you've killed the last person and you plop down on them like it's a big Barca lounger of death. And I wanted to paint it. I wanted to do a really nice painterly job on it. And I was like, okay, I don't really know anybody that looks like a barbarian that I could hire as a model. So I just started looking online, and you cannot type in dead bodies. Mm-hmm. You get like Bosnian war atrocities.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I discovered that for the bodies on the bottom, and this is like, you got to think laterally when you're looking for reference, like, well, what looks like what I'm going for without exactly being what I'm going for. You can't type in, a pile of dead bodies. And I discovered that all the bodies on the bottom of the pile, who are all being smushed down like this, Greco-Roman wrestling.
Oh, wow.
And it just had a plethora of faces and just there's the shoulders being mashed down, and it really looked like the bottom guys on a pile of bodies, and the guys on the top who are just kind of like, blah, they're kind of like splayed out. Orgies.
Dan has lots of references to those.
Yeah,
I realized that, guys just kind of like, wah, being splayed out with like, look on their face. And I just was like, maybe orgies will work. And so I went to orgy.com and my wife came in and she said, "You looking at reference?" And I went, "Yeah." And because she's an artist, she knows. And after a few hours, I had gotten all the splayed. And I went and I was like, we want Disney home. I feel really sick to my stomach.
Need something wholesome.
Oh, it was terrible.
I thought you were going to say you Googled passed out drunk people.
It would be great, but I bet you right now that if anybody Googled that, it would all be drunk girls, and it would be like up shots of their panties.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like every 100th one would be like a guy, and not some slobby guy, but a good looking barbarian guy who would look like somebody that would give Red Sonja a hard time.
You mean like urban barbarian?
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Interestingly enough, Adam, both RomanGreco.com and Orgies.com, two of Dan's favorite websites.
That's actually true.
Those are bookmarks.
Yep.
Along with how to dispose of a body.
Do you remember that fumetti you made a long time ago?
Who?
At Tim's. Yeah. That was an interesting one. Yeah, that was a good one. I got a kick out of that from Tim's bachelor party. Good times.
What's a fumetti?
It's just a photo, like Dave always likes to take photos and just horribly hurt Cully's feelings with them.
Well, no, a fumetti is just a photo comic.
Okay. Yeah, I think we know what I'm talking about, though.
Well, yeah. Well, that's just.
Well, what you do, like with the meme, like Dave will find a picture of Cully, that's and then just kind of rework it a little bit for its private file. As he often does.
Are you writing that story, Adam? The Captain America story?
What's that?
Are you writing that Captain America story?
Yeah, they let me write it. I can't believe it.
Awesome.
I remember you wrote some of that Gen 13 stuff. Was that some of your first writing or not?
Yeah, that was just, I went out to La Jolla and I lived there, and I went to work at the Wildstorm offices, and they were like, what characters do you want to work on? They didn't have an assignment. They just wanted to create something for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, what characters of ours do you like? And I said, I like those Gen 13 kids, and they said, okay. And they said, what kind of story do you want to do? And I was like, a monster story. And they were like, okay, well, the writer's really busy, so why don't you start it? Wow. And I thought it up, I plotted it out, and I started drawing it, and I said, the only thing left really is putting words in their mouths. And I said, why don't you let me try dialoguing it? And if it sucks, you can get the writer once he's free to fix it. And the dialogue was okay, and I accidentally became a writer.
I remember that. That was pretty cool.
So do you like writing your stuff, or would you rather have someone else do that part? I
like it. I I find writing to be way less of an ass ache than drawing.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You know, like I feel so much pressure when I'm drawing, you know, and when I'm writing, I'm like, well, I'm not a real writer. It doesn't matter if I fuck up, you know. So I just write with abandon, and you know, I can't seem to manage to get that brain, you know, that mindset to when I'm drawing, and you know, get locked up when I'm drawing by, you know, my own expectations.
Well, it's also a lot easier to write Space Armada than it is to draw it.
Yeah, it is. Space battle.
Colliding armies.
Conan on a heap of bodies.
Yeah, it's
Orgy.
Orgy. So Adam, I know that that you're working right now, so you don't have to really look up or anything. But do you play the guitar, right?
I make attempts.
Yeah.
I do make attempts at playing the guitar.
Do you find that having a non-art hobby helps you with your art?
It used to, but now I never get time to do the things I like to do. So they're just like dusty things in the corner of the studio that like I walk past when I go to the restroom, and I go, maybe someday.
Jeff, do you play any instruments? I remember you were studying the ukulele there for a while.
Well, I mean, since I'm from Hawaii, it's sort of a mandatory instrument to learn how to play. But I play a little harmonica. That's about it. It's not really playing. No, it's not really. It's not. I can't say it's a real instrument.
I mean, you play the harmonica, but did you ever like take any lessons, or that one old man that used to meet in the park, right?
Yeah, but that wasn't for harmonica lessons.
Oh.
Is that the mouth organ? Is that what you're playing?
Yeah. Gross, Ben.
It does. I mean, you know, if you saw a sign that said, you know, harmonica lessons driving down the street, you know that's like a spa. That's like, you know, that's code for something.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So aside from the Captain America page, you're doing, or story, you're doing also some Hellboy work right now, right?
Well, I did it. I mean, it came out yesterday.
Oh, awesome.
Way to say
What's that?
Giving Ben a hard time.
He's giving me grief, you know, for segueing into something that's for sale on shelves.
I was gonna say, nice job, Ben. Nice job.
So yeah, that's out. That came out Wednesday, right? Or was it last week?
No, it came out yesterday. Yeah, just you know, there's that. But I've got this Cap story, and then I'm doing a Harley Quinn Black, White, and Red story. I've got my Black Widow covers, and I've got a Black Cat cover I've got to do this weekend.
Damn,
So you're
busy.
keeping busy.
Yeah, you seem a little busy. We're lucky we got him, guys.
It's, another new piece that showed up.
Wow,
here
that one's
a while
stunning.
ago. So
Yeah,
maybe we'll get to see the movie one of these days. And
yeah. Don't talk crazy. Don't talk crazy.
I know.
So Adam, you used to work with a young Dave Johnson, I understand, back in the day.
Yes.
You got any good stories? You can
Oh
tell,
God.
At least he does.
Suitable for TV.
Yeah. Remember, this is a kid's show.
Yeah, why did Dave move out here? Because he
That's
I
not
don't understand.
Well, that was much, much later.
Oh.
I can remember when we used to have rubber band fights in the studio. We'd all, you know, in the second studio we had, where we had the big bullpen, and everybody had built their own little cubicles out of, you know, industrial shelving, and we would have rubber band fights. And you know, it got to the point where it wasn't just the rubber bands laying around your desk. Everybody went to Office Depot and bought a bag of rubber bands because it just turned into, trying to take a hill in a war. And Dave started a fight one day, and I was like, I got my bag, and I went and got it, and I went to do the rubber band, and it snapped, and I was like, shit, you always get a bad one, I pull out another one, snap. And what did David gone in and cut all my rubber bands?
Oh, you sneaky bastard!
Dave had gone in and not cut them. He sabotaged them. He actually precision took out 69% of just so that the tension of doing it. And
wow,
that's dedication.
That's
Dave has always been really committed to the prank.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Hell yeah! No, I just remember the reason we didn't get a lot of work done was the hacky sack issue, because we all had our backs to the center of the room, and then somebody inevitably would throw the hacky sack on the floor, which would make a certain sound, and it was game on. And an hour later, we're still playing hacky sack. So,
what was the grand total of everybody in there at one time when it was at its peak?
Well, we had Joe Phillips, Carl Story, Collie Hamner, Tony Harris, Adam, me, Brian Stelfreeze, Jason Pearson, and Steen, Brian's girlfriend, and I think that was it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Group of talented people.
I don't know that. After I left, I didn't look back, so I don't know about the rosters afterwards. So, but yeah, I think the roster Dave's talking about might have been when we were at most packed to the gills.
Yeah, that was the heydays or the halcyon days. Of, like I said, not getting much done. We didn't have the best reputation, I guess, John, for speed and and making deadlines.
But we're all still in the industry, so it couldn't have been too bad.
No. It was. I mean, it was a great learning experience. That's for me. That's for sure. So.
You had Michael Ringo in there?
Nope.
No.
Ringo was never in there?
No, you're thinking of Artemis Studios.
Oh.
I was with Chuck Lukevich, Jeff Parker, Richard Case, and Scott Hamilton.
And that was up in North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
And Adam wasn't invited to be a part of that one, as I recall.
Well, he might have been. I don't know.
No, I'm just kidding, obviously. But
Adam, did you go to art school?
No, I did not. My grades weren't good enough, and technically, I didn't even finish high school. So I didn't get to go. And we weren't poor, but we weren't poor enough to get government aid, and we weren't rich enough to send me. So it was just,
Did you want to go?
What?
To art school or a college or? Is that something you would have done if?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like. The school that I went to, for junior high and high school. Now that I look back at it, was a cult. Uh-huh. I went to a private Christian school, and when you're in the middle of it, you're just like, this is normal. And then when you get some perspective, you go, holy fuck, I was in a cult. Uh-huh. And I did not have a regular, normal high school social situation. And afterwards, I was like, I would kind of like to go to college. I mean, yes, to learn something, but also just to feel like a part of the, a part of the regular world.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think were you drawing even back then? Was that a place that you could do a lot of? Was that inspiring to draw, or was that a distraction?
What, the cult?
Yeah.
Well, I was only allowed to draw Bible stories.
Oh God.
And I remember one time every Wednesday we had sort of I forget what we called it, but it was like fake church. You know, you spent like half of Wednesday morning in prayer and worship, and then the principal would come out and talk to the student body and stuff like that. And she came out and she said, I'm giving you all an assignment. I want you to illustrate, you know, a Bible story that means a lot to you. And we're all going to like get a scroll and we're going to draw on it. And she goes, now I don't expect any of you to be as good as Adam. And I was just like, you know, Flintstone. I just like, I in my chair, I just went, oh, fuck balls, you know, because it was a very small student body, and I was probably the best artist just because there weren't any other.
Yeah, like the comic book industry.
I was gonna say, I bet you're actually the best artist by far.
The competition. Yeah.
So, yeah, just.
Do you remember what story you did?
What's that?
Do you remember which story you drew?
The Bible story that I did?
Yeah.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah. Just, I think they mentioned breasts in the Song of Solomon, so I probably drew that. You know?
Yeah, I was gonna say the Salome would be great. The Dance of Seven Veils. You could do that one.
I've never been particularly canny, but I was smart enough back then to go, and then I'm not going to give them what I know I can do.
Right.
I don't want to end up in like some, psychiatrist, much less a church psychiatrist's office.
Right. Well, that's really interesting.
Jeff, did you go to any art school, or are you self-taught?
I didn't. The only official art training I've ever had was my Army illustration school.
Also a cult.
Yeah, very much so.
Dave, you're probably the only one who did, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I went briefly. I wouldn't say I learned a lot.
I guess we'd all agree that. Yeah.
Well, back in the day, there was really a curriculum design for comic book stuff, was there?
Well, not where I went. It was I mean, they were teaching me things like product design and copywriting, and I was just like, nope, this isn't what I want to learn. So
I think the only place around was the Kubert School when we were all growing up.
Well, I didn't even really, I mean, it just, living in Georgia, that just seemed like a million miles away. And I didn't have any money, so that also kind of ruined that. So
Yeah, that'll do it.
I did so bad in school.
Famous artist course. You could have taken that.
Yeah.
Well, I did have those books.
All you got to do is draw a turtle.
There you go.
Turtles are hard, Ben.
I don't know. I think I even drew that turtle and pirate back in the day.
It's Skippy, right? That's the turtle.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Joe, did you go to art school?
Yep.
Juilliard? Is that where you were at? Or
What was that?
Juilliard? Is that where you went?
No, I'm at School of Visual Arts.
Pretty good things.
Oh, that's all right.
Did you have Eisner as a teacher?
I did. I had
Oh,
both.
that's
I had both Eisner and Kurtzman, and I failed both classes.
really.
And then Joe failed upwards.
What was that? No, I mean, I went for illustration. I was a complete snob about comics. I didn't want to have anything to do with them. But I took them as electives, and all you had to do was literally to pass the class. All you had to do was hand in a final assignment. I didn't do it for either class, so I failed them both. Then years later, I rediscovered comics, and I'm at a San Diego con, and broke into the industry, and I see Will Eisner at a party, and I go up to him. I said, "Hey, Mr. Eisner, you probably remember me. I was one of your students." He didn't remember me. I mean, he said thousands of students, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, work tomorrow, working for DC." He's like, "That's great. I'm so glad." I'm like, "And I failed your class." His demeanor changed instantly.
Because the only way you could fail was just not to do it.
He just turned on his heels and he walked away. Yeah. So.
I always knew Eisner was a smart man.
What was that?
You always respected Eisner.
Yeah. Huh? Clearly.
He's a good judge of character.
No.
Well, I wish I had gone. I mean, you save a lot of time that way, but then there's always that there's always a bunch of people that always say, look, you'll learn stuff you don't need to learn necessarily, or they'll change your art style, and there's all sorts of detractors. And but ultimately, I think building that foundation is probably not a bad idea.
I think it would have been. I would have really liked to have gone just to be exposed to. I mean, because when I was growing up, you didn't really have access to the history of art in a way that I would have liked to have known more. I would have liked to know more about theory and just the mechanics of drawing and being an artist.
Maybe we could have some conversations, Jeff.
Say what?
Maybe you and I can have some conversations over a weekend.
Yeah, let's do that.
Just talk art.
Just love it.
Yeah.
I think the best thing about SVA was in order to be a teacher there, you had to be a working professional in the field that you were teaching for at least 5 years, currently working. So, so it was a double-edged sword, right? Because some great artists are not great teachers. But the one thing that was consistent with all of them was that they were all actually working in their fields. So the advice that they were giving on how the business of art and how to go about doing your business, that's the stuff that I remember more than anything. And that's the stuff that was like completely just so unbelievably valuable down the road.
I can just imagine taking a course from Kurtzman. That would be insane.
Oh yeah,
great. He was a great guy. But also he did, like our illustration teachers. These are guys that were magazine illustrators for Time Magazine at the time, which is you're one of the best of the best. So these are like all really high ranked pros. Like I said, not all of them were great teachers, but they were when it came to if you start asking business questions and stuff, they can give you all the war stories, which is, when you're that young to hear all those war stories and kind of figure out, oh, wow, this is what I got to expect when I go out there. That's
valuable.
Yeah, that would have been fantastic to
really
have.
Despite the fact that, my character was shit, but,
Learn some stories.
I still,
Look how sad Daredevil is here.
Sad Daredevil. Adam,
since we got Adam back, what if he asked a question for the giveaway?
Is that allowed? Are you sure, Jeff?
I mean, he's our guest.
Perplexed.
All right.
Everybody here's done conventions, right?
Yeah.
What's your nightmare request that you've ever gotten? The worst thing you've ever been asked to draw by a fan?
Oof. Huh.
I want to hear Jeff's.
Scuba guy.
Jeff is such a nice guy that I can't see you really hurting a fan's feeling and saying no.
I think the one that haunts me still it wasn't even at a convention. It was the Drink and Draw Angel Warrior one.
Yeah, you got a lot of shit for that.
Yeah. That was no fun. Adam, what about you? What is it?
Yeah.
Lois Lane in a diaper.
Oh, what?
Oh, did you do it?
Yeah, I was.
I need the money.
I was 20. I was 20 or 21. I was charging $15 a sketch, and comics does not come with an instruction manual, and I'd only been in the industry about 18 months, and I did not know you could say no to people.
Hey, Adam, did you ever have scuba guy?
Yeah.
You did? No.
I did a Batgirl, a naked Batgirl scuba diving for Scuba Guy.
I told him no.
They always smarter than me.
No, I was so paranoid, about doing something like that. And then, Marvel or DC seeing it and saying, "What the hell?" I think I told this story on Drink and Draw before. I was doing CharlotteCon, which is for whatever reason that convention always had for me the weirdest, sketch request. And I was sitting next to Mark Bagley, and next to Mark was Ron Friends. And a guy came up to me and asked me to draw Mary Jane Watson topless. And I said, no, I won't do that. And Bags was like, I'll do it, right? So Bags is drawing Mary Jane Watson topless. But in the interim, before he said I'd do it, Ron Friends had gone up to go to the bathroom. And background for anybody who doesn't know this, John Romita Sr. created Mary Jane Watson along with Stan Lee. So Ron goes to the bathroom, and here's Bags, and he's drawing topless Mary Jane, and Ron comes back and looks over Bags' shoulder, and just like does a double take, and stops dead in his tracks, and he says, "Oh my God, you know how pissed John Romita would be right now if he saw you doing this?" And Bags, why does it go? "Oh my God, you really think so?" He's like, "Yeah, because Mary Jane has those big silver dollar nipples, not those little ones." I forget, I was drinking water, so I literally spit it across the table. It's an amazing line.
All right, I got a question for the giveaway. I'll give this one away. For the first person that can tell me what was Adam Hughes's first series.
Ooh. All right.
And of course, Adam will know the answer, I would assume.
I hope.
It'd be funny if you didn't.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I had for breakfast, so you might have to go to the Googles to find that one out.
Yeah, and he has been drinking.
Was it May's Agency?
That was my first regular series, my first color work. I did a lot of backgrounds for other people in black and white comics before that.
But that was the main one. So who do we got? Who was first, Ben? Ben even here? Oh, Ben's not even here. Shit.
Wow, what happened to Ben?
Probably using my computer.
Right.
All right, whoever MJR is, I think they won.
Excellent.
So MJR, you send me your address via social media, and
You'll be over. real soon.
I'll email you a postcard art.
And Dave will move in.
I like that one. What is that? Just
Yeah, I'll show up personally and deliver it and never leave.
Let me see. Let's focus on Dave here since we don't have Ben manning the helm here.
that is a funky piece, Dave. Oh, a couple of them.
Yeah,
Wow.
I did too.
Nice.
It's like the old days of drink and draw when you just draw stupid stuff.
Yeah, good times. I'm just drawing a monster.
You are? I think I'm done with mine.
Let's see it.
Was your sad Daredevil?
I do Sad Daredevil. Here's Jeff drawing a crazy monster. Very cool.
Hey, we should ask Adam. Adam, are you a big fan of our consigliere, Mr. Albert Dorn?
Oh, definitely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. So we'd probably have to kick you off if you said anything different. He is the man.
Yeah, we kind of love him.
You know, we need to have an episode where we just draw Albert Dorn.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Dan, that came out great.
For that amazing T-shirt.
Nice work.
Thanks. I was like, if Adam's on, I'm not drawing a sexy girl. I will be drawing a lot of background.
Well, that used to be my my rule in covers. If anybody ever offered me a cover gig after Adam, I would always turn it down.
Yeah.
I've had to do a lot of sketchbook stuff, like in somebody's sketchbook where Adam's already drawn. I'm like, oh, guys, seriously, why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that to me? It's
Yeah,
so
Adam,
humbling.
we were cursing you a little bit earlier when you were off dealing with computer stuff. Like, you really raised the bar on convention sketches and made all our lives a lot harder.
Thanks, Adam.
It's I'm here to serve. And it's just calling them sketches is just such a misnomer because they're fully illustrated pissing contests with other artists.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember one of the first times somebody gave me, one of those leather-bound hardcover sketchbooks to work in, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool. I don't have to use my own paper, and it's kind of neat." Yeah, this guy there were 4 pages left in it, and he'd been doing it since the late '60s.
Oh.
He had a Jack Kirby Captain America inked.
Jesus.
He had a Frazetta. He had a Wrightson Swamp Thing.
Oh.
And he was like, "Hey, could you draw She-Hulk?" And I'm like, "No, I can't." But I guess I have to. And I did this tremulous, awful drawing because this book should be in the Smithsonian. I mean, it was like it had Kaluta. It had it was unbelievable. And that's at the point where I went, it should be my responsibility to pay this forward and go, if I have to do it, work in a sketchbook, then anybody working after it better bring their A game. And
yeah, well, thanks.
Yeah.
We're all happy about that. Well, I think it actually does make everybody bring their A game, which is not a bad thing.
It's in the collector's, it's in the collector or the fans, best interest is you're making sure that okay, you're going to get people in here, they're not just going to doodle in it on their way to the restroom. They're going to sit there and go, okay, let me get comfy. Let me get settled. And
it's funny. That's how Dan used to do a lot of his sketches in the
bathroom. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's the most relaxed in there.
A little bit of extra loving.
People sing better in the shower. It's the same sort of principle.
Yeah.
Well, and not as many signature requests in the bathroom.
Weird. Right. You get to concentrate a little bit more.
Yeah, pure concentration.
Has anybody here been asked to sign something while in a bathroom?
God, no.
Oh, no. Have you?
Yes.
Oh.
Number 1 or number 2?
Yeah, did they slide it under the door?
Yeah.
Nope. So just somebody who's like, "Oh, can I? You're Adam Hughes, blah blah blah, whatever. Can you sign my comic?" And I was like, "Can I shake first?"
I do have a funny story that a buddy of mine told me, and I'm not going to use either of the names, but one professional asked another guy who was way more like a legend in the field to do a sketch in his sketchbook, and he left him alone for a while, and this was during San Diego, and he came back and he was walking towards the table, but then he realized, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. So he went to the bathroom, and he's standing at a stall when there's a tap on his shoulder, and that artist had brought his sketchbook into the bathroom to give it to him, because he was done. And my friend was like, "Could you wait till I'm finished?" I mean, it was a very odd situation for my buddy, because here's this legend who had just walked into the bathroom to give him his sketchbook back.
Tell us who it is, Dave.
I'm not gonna say.
Come on.
No.
Please.
I mean, I think that's very convincing, Dan. I think you almost got him.
Yeah, you almost got me to on that one.
Yeah. It's so plaintive.
Look, I have a 6-year-old son. That's
yeah, it works on you, right?
Yeah, it works great on me. All right.
Well, guys, we're at an hour and a half. Do you want to maybe start thinking about wrapping it up and have Adam come back again so we can?
If he's up for it.
Yeah. I mean, after one hurricane no show and then an evening full of transporter malfunctions, I do owe you guys a full session.
I mean, I'll take it.
Good.
So, anyways, I was just working on. I was just doing
Awesome.
Oh wow!
just a quickie. Just a
So
quickie.
whilst all the problems, you still managed to do that for us. Thanks.
Well, yeah, when you're sitting there and you're just watching your computer make little circles going, repairing, it's like, well, I guess I should draw something, but.
And the first person who can unify the gravity with what's the
Unified field theory?
unified theory gets that sketch. The first person.
Yeah, sure.
Get on it.
I think Ben. I still see Ben's like camera on, but Ben may have fallen over at this point. Maybe he drank too much during drink and draw.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
So Jeff, usually you give like some kind of words of wisdom or a hint about next week. And Adam, you know, if you're busy next week, you're busy next week. But we'd love to have you on again.
Next week is next week Thanksgiving?
Oh yeah, that'd be out.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Whenever Adam feels like coming back, we'll pick this up.
I got nowhere to go, so you know we can do a part 2 at the next time you guys are doing this, and we'll just use my wife's laptop so I don't have any more of those problems.
Excellent. Yeah, and I will bug you with questions if you don't mind. We're all huge fans, and I'd love to hear more about your process in your life and how you make art.
Oh, I would be more than honored to. You guys, thank you so much.
Thank you, Adam. And
Awesome.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. And Dave will send you that sketch, and we will see you after the holidays, everybody.
Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Be safe, and don't burn the turkey.
Yeah, don't burn the turkey.
COVID.
Bye, everybody. Cheers.